Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. My name is Trevor and I'm going to be presenting some research done by me and my colleagues K-Mai and Wu Wei. There's been a lot of interest in academia and media on unethical behavior in organizations. Part of the reason is we know that it has damaging outcomes. In teams, we know it harms a group's social fabric. For instance, there's a strong positive correlation between mean level or amount of unethical behavior in teams and relationship conflicts. What is less clear is the degree to which differentiation in member unethical behavior makes a difference. By differentiation, I mean the pattern or distribution of the individual's behavior in the team. Applying research on team configurations to the ethics domain, we consider three configurations of member unethical behavior, specifically cheating. We consider bad apple, bimodal, and fragmented configurations. Bad apple is where one member cheats at a high level and the rest of the team does not cheat. Bimodal is where there are two subgroups formed around levels of cheating. And fragmented is where each member displays meaningfully different levels of cheating. To model the consequences of these three cheating configurations, we use social impact theory. This theory states that the impact of a member's cheating behavior depends on the number and strength of those enacting a similar behavior and other members observing the behavior. First, using the number aspects of this theory, we propose that relative to bimodal and fragmented configurations, relationship conflict will be less prevalent in teams with bad apple configurations because most members exhibit similar levels of low cheating, making disagreements about norms and values less frequent. Building on this, we identify peer-based rational control as a moderator related to the power members have over each other. This is when team members perceive the rewards as being dependent on the input and decisions of their teammates. Because in teams with high peer-based rational control, members have greater say over each other's rewards, we predict that in bad apple teams, but not bimodal or fragmented, high peer-based rational control constrains the impact of cheating and lessens relationship conflict. In bad apple teams with high peer-based rational control, members in the low cheating majority perceive consensus around standards of acceptable conduct and the power to punish those that deviate, such as frequent cheaters. And this consensus is not a feature in bimodal or fragmented teams. We then predict that this interaction affects team creative performance via relationship conflict, such as the indirect effect is different for teams with bad apple configurations in context with high peer-based rational control relative to bimodal and fragmented ones with high peer-based rational control. And so here's our overall model. And so we tested this with a field study. At time one, members completed cheating behavior and relationship conflict assessments. We created team cheating configurations using latent profile analysis with mean, standard deviation, skew, and kurtosis metrics simultaneously. And we found evidence of bad apple and fragmented configurations, but not bimodal ones. We then measured relationship conflict at time two, then had team leaders rate each team's creative performance at time three. And so here are examples of the bad apple and fragmented teams. As you can see in team A, one member cheated at a much higher frequency than other members. In team B, members all cheated, but at different levels. In terms of results, I'll note again that we didn't find evidence of bimodal configurations, which we think is because cheating is an independent behavior that doesn't involve coordination with others. We didn't find support for our first hypothesis. There were not mean differences in relationship conflict between fragmented and bad apple teams. However, we did find partial support for our second hypothesis. As you can see by this interaction plot, in bad apple teams with high peer-based rational control, conflict was significantly lower than teams in all other conditions. This in turn affected team creative performance. The indirect effect of bad apple configurations on team creative performance via conflict was positive and significantly different than the indirect effect of fragmented configurations when peer-based rational control was high. Overall, we help move research on unethical behavior in teams forward by showing the importance of different forms of team cheating configurations. In addition, by finding peer-based rational control mitigates the negative effects of bad apples for relationship conflict and creative performance, we add to our knowledge of interventions for reducing the harmful effects of unethical behavior. Thanks for tuning in.